Welcome back to the channel, guys. He's looking at me like I'm dumb. Probably because I'm talking to a little box. It's fine. Tonight, we are going to do some rust prevention on several different projects, just kind of all at once because it is, again, raining outside and makes doing anything else kind of inconvenient. And when I say rust prevention, I'm talking about different methods of it. So, we're going to do 3 tonight. We're going to use paint, metal bluing, and everyone's favorite, powder coat. There is a solid reason why we're using different methods of rust prevention for the different parts. Tonight, we are going to prime my Hypot arms. We are doing this because they are going to be sitting outside on the tractor in the weather, and I really don't want it to rust, but I don't want to paint it yet because I'll paint it when I paint everything else. We are then going to blue my outer axle shafts on the stretched mower. The reason for this is because my 1-inch axle is machined to a super tight tolerance with this bearing, and paint would add too much thickness to it to allow it to slide through. So what we're going to do is we're going to take gun bluing and blue the outside of this shaft. That way we prevent rust. Now the rest of it, this hub and collar, that'll be painted like normal. After all that, we're going to powder coat my brake lock lever for the Farmall H. The reason being is, 1, I got impatient with trying to let the paint dry, and it is now chipping and wearing. And 2, powder coat's actually a good bit more resilient to wear than paint is, and it will last longer on the tractor. Also, I think we might powder coat something for him. Actually, you explain what it is.
This is a homemade starter for a Model S Ideal lawnmower.
Can we powder coat it fluorescent orange?
For what?
Fluorescent orange.
No.
Please?
No.
I have fluorescent orange and I haven't been able to use it yet.
No.
Please? Our part is about done preheating. Once it's done, we'll pull it out, set it up on my fancy contraption right here. Don't judge me, it works. Then we're going to paint it Yamaha blue because that's the color he likes apparently. It matches my motorcycle. I am using a Eastwood dual voltage powder coat gun. All right, so it's done preheating. We let it preheat for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees. When you're powder coating, always wear a mask. You don't want to powder coat the inside of your lungs. An important step in powder coating, remember to put your ground on. I need a better respirator in the future. Look at this. It's so bad. All right, so we just put it in the oven. We're gonna let it flash. It should take about 10 minutes. and then we'll give it about 2 minutes after that to bake, and then we'll pull it out, let it cool off, and that part is done. While that other part's baking in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and switch the gun over to spray black. Now we just need to find a place to hang it and let it cool down. In his lap. All right, well, while that cools down, let's go ahead and start prepping myself to blue it. The bluing stuff we're using today, I have not used. I picked it up at Academy. It's just a gun bluing kit, so it should be similar to other processes that I've used in the past. At work, we had precision ground plates, or Blanchard ground plates, that robots sat on. Instead of painting, we would blue them, and I used to have to always do the bluing on them. So I read through the instructions. I think we're going to skip a couple steps. The main reason is this bluing kit is designed for guns that have already been blued previously or have rust on them. Well, my axle shafts aren't blued previously, nor do they have rust on them. So we're going to skip that step, just degrease them, and go ahead and apply the bluing process. I've had it out of you. Making noise while I'm trying to record. Got to put it in its place. This bluing compound is a bit different than what I'm used to. The other stuff that I've used, we usually let it sit on the metal for about 15 to 20 minutes before washing it off. This stuff works a lot faster. They only want it on for 30 to 60 seconds. So we're going to get a bucket of cold water and apply it. 30 seconds later, dunk it, and then dry it off. Alright, so we've got our parts blued. This one did not turn out quite as well as the other one. I was rushing just a bit, and it's going to work. That's all that really matters. It doesn't have to be pretty because no one's going to ever see it anyways. That was a quick, easy process. This stuff's pretty easy to use. You gotta move with it a little bit though. I'm used to using a slower reacting bluing chemical agent, but this stuff is pretty neat and it was pretty cheap. So it's gonna do the job. Next, we gotta paint my Hypot arm. It's right there and the other one's back over in the corner. Here are our powder coated pieces. They turned out pretty well. When we were doing the blue powder coat, I did not have my tip adjusted correctly. That's why the powder looked like it was blowing back on the gun. I adjusted it for when we did the black and it worked a lot better. Today we're gonna go ahead and prime my Hypot arms for the stretch mower project. And I'm really sorry, it's really dark in here. My light's not working. I have a clamp light, I have a second clamp light, and I have that light, but it's still just really dark in here. We need better lights. who knows me knows my knot tying abilities are really bad. What's that? What's that? Different from that. Oh my gosh, everything's just a nightmare. Also, my measuring skills, excellent. I also have these prepped. These are the little hangers for the Hypot arms. What we've got to do is I'm going to wipe these down with rubbing alcohol and or acetone, depending which one I can find. And then we're just going to prime it with the rusty metal primer. So I'm not going to worry about cleaning it up too much. So with powder coat, it is super easy to do. All you do is put your part in the oven, preheat it, then ground it, spray your powder on, throw it back in the oven, wait for it to flash, and then give it like a good 10-minute cure time or whatever the powder recommends. I like powder coat because it's easy prep and easy cleanup. I can clean the gun in about 1.5 minutes with just compressed air. I can switch over colors really quick with the same method of just blowing out my canister with compressed air. So everything's quick and easy. Any type of overspray you get wipes right up. Then the durability factor of powder coat is unbelievable. For anywhere that's gonna be like a nice high rub situation, it will last a lot longer than paint. Painting has its advantages, however. For what I was doing, powder coat requires the metal to be super clean. At least with the Rust-Oleum primer I was using, it was designed to be pushed over mill scale and lightly rusty metal. So that's why I use that. Also, powder coating requires an oven that is big where painting can just naturally dry by air. So my parts that I was painting out there, the Hypot arms, they're too big for the small oven I have, so end up having to paint. I can get into a lot more detail about the advantages and disadvantages of everything. With this video, I gave a nice quick overview and then showed you how to do each of the applications. So that's where I'm going to end it this time. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll do a little bit better of a job trying to explain it. I really should try and script this stuff out, but I don't have time for that. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you like my channel, press the subscribe button. And if you just like me, give me a hug. Maybe don't give me a hug because you might break your computer monitor. I'm just rambling at this point, so I'm gonna call it the video. I'll see you guys next time. Later!